Welcome back, everybody. Today we're diving into something that sounds like it's straight out of science fiction, but it's actually becoming reality.
It really does sound futuristic, doesn't it?
AI building software?
Uh,
Like, what?
yeah. Imagine just telling a computer what you want your software to do, and it just does it.
That's what we're talking about today. AI-driven software development.
It's pretty wild, and it's got huge potential to shake things up for businesses of all sizes.
And to help us break it all down, we're going to be zeroing in on one very specific project called DevOpsGPT.
Yes. DevOpsGPT is an open source project from a company called Quaff AI, and their vision is to basically make software creation accessible for everyone using the power of AI.
Which is a pretty big deal. So today, we're going to walk you through exactly what DevOpsGPT is, how it works, its potential benefits, the limitations, and what the future might hold for all of us. And hopefully you'll come away from this with a better grasp on whether this is something you should be paying attention to.
So to kick things off, maybe we should start with the basics. What exactly says DevOpsGPT?
Yeah, let's break down the name first. DevOps, I kind of get that, but GPT, what's that all about?
Okay, so DevOps is short for development and operations.
Right. It's about how we build and deploy software efficiently.
Exactly. And GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer.
And that's where the AI magic comes in, right?
Yeah, it's a type of large language model. So what DevOpsGPT does is it combines those large language models, those LLMs, with the tools we already use in DevOps to try to translate natural language requirements into working software.
Okay, so it's bridging the gap between how humans think and talk about software and how computers actually build it.
Exactly. Think of it like this. You can tell DevOpsGPT in plain English, hey, I want to build an app that does this and this and this, and it will start to figure out how to make that happen.
Wow, so no more needing to learn complex coding languages. I could just tell it what I want.
That's the idea. Now, it doesn't mean you can completely skip the coding part, but it takes a lot of the heavy lifting away.
So how does that actually work? Like, what's the step-by-step process?
So first, you got to make sure your requirements, you know what you actually want, are clear.
Yeah, gotta have a good vision, right?
Right. Then DevOpsGPT will start generating documentation and pseudocode, which is like a simplified version of code that developers use.
Oh, so it's not spitting out ready-to-go code?
Not quite, but it's giving developers a really solid starting point. Then human developers come in, they refine that pseudocode, make sure it's all good to go, and then they use their usual DevOps practices to integrate it, test it, and then, boom, deploy it.
Okay, so it's like having an AI assistant working alongside a human team to speed things up and maybe even improve the quality of the software, right?
Yes, and this could potentially benefit anyone who needs software. Like, think about how much time and money could be saved if you could get a prototype up and running way faster.
That's true. It could be a game changer for startups and small businesses who might not have huge budgets or lots of developer time.
Exactly.
But, talk is cheap. Seeing is believing. Are there any actual examples of DevOpsGPT in action?
There are actually some really cool demos out there that show exactly how it works. Like, you can literally see it building and launching apps.
Oh, wow. Where can people find those demos?
They're on QuaffYI's website and also their GitHub page.
We'll make sure to include those links in the show notes for everyone. Okay, demos are great, but what about real-world use cases?
Oh, yeah. There are some really fascinating case studies already. Like, there's this manufacturing company that used DevOpsGPT to build a whole business automation system. It ended up being this massive digital transformation for their whole operation.
So we're not just talking about small apps here. This is like enterprise-level stuff.
Definitely. They've got examples from all sorts of industries. Like, a travel company used it to build a custom mini program with a really unique referral system that ended up boosting their engagement and revenue.
Interesting. And it seems like it's not just for tech companies either, right?
No, not at all. There's another one where a leading AI company, How Meta, used DevOpsGPT to create an investor management system.
An AI company using AI to build software. That's wild.
Yeah, I know, right? And there's even one from a recruiting firm that actually built an AI interviewer using DevOpsGPT, and they're using it on WeChat to streamline candidate interaction.
Wow. So it's not just websites and internal tools. It can even be used for things like chatbots and interactive experiences. It's really versatile. But I got to ask, no technology is perfect, right? So what are some of the limitations of DevOps GPT right now.
Yeah, good point. We got to be upfront about that. One thing they're still working on is making sure the documentation that DevOps GPT generates is always spot on.
So it's not always 100% perfect. It still needs a bit of human oversight.
Right. It's a good starting point, but sometimes it might miss some of the nuances of a really complex project.
So human developers still need to be there to fine-tune things and make sure everything's working as it should.
Exactly. And another area they're working on is getting DevOps GPT to be better at understanding existing code. Like, if you've got a big, complicated project with tons of code already written, it can be a challenge for the AI to wrap its head around all of that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Analyzing a mountain of existing code probably isn't easy, even for a super smart AI.
Right. But they're working on solutions for that. And actually, they have a pretty exciting product roadmap. Like, they're working on making that code analysis more accurate. They're streamlining the user experience even more. And they're trying to integrate with even more development tools.
So it's a constantly evolving project. That's exciting. And this might be a big one for some of our listeners. DevOps GPT is open source. So what does that actually mean for someone listening to this?
It means anyone can actually contribute to making it better. Developers all over the world can collaborate, offer suggestions, actually improve the technology.
So it's a real community effort. And that makes this technology even more accessible, which is pretty cool. But before we get too carried away with all the amazing possibilities, we do need to acknowledge the disclaimer that comes with a tool like this, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's still pretty experimental. Plus, there are real costs associated with using these powerful large language models. It's not like it's free for everyone to just hop in and start using.
And using it responsibly and legally is super important, right?
Absolutely. Okay, so we've talked about what DevOps GPT is, how it works, some of the cool things people are doing with it, even the limitations. Now let's shift gears a bit and think about what this all means for the future of software development as a whole.
That's a big one. If AI is becoming more and more involved in building software, what does that mean for us humans? Like, what new skills are we going to need in this AI-powered world?
So right before the break, we were talking about AI potentially shaking up the skills that software developers need. It's a pretty big deal, I think.
Yeah, it kind of makes you wonder, right? Like, if AI can build software, do we even need human developers anymore? Are software jobs just going to disappear?
It's a valid question. I mean, it's something a lot of people are worried about, understandably, but I think it's more about AI and humans working together.
Like a partnership.
Exactly. It's not about replacement. It's more about augmenting human capabilities.
Okay, augmenting. I like that. So instead of coding all day long, developers will be more like guiding the AI, right? Making sure it's building the right thing, refining the output, all that.
Yeah, exactly. And remember all those communication headaches we talked about earlier? Well, imagine if part of a developer's job now becomes bridging that gap between what people actually need and what the AI can build.
So it's a whole different skill set then, right? Not just about knowing how to code anymore.
Right. It's about seeing the big picture, understanding user experience, and knowing how to use AI effectively as a tool to get there.
And problem-solving skills are probably going to be even more important than ever, right? Because even with AI, there will still be bugs. There will still be unexpected challenges that pop up.
Oh, absolutely. Debugging, testing, all of that is still going to be crucial. And maybe even more so because now you're working with code that an AI helped create.
So you might need to understand not just how the code works, but like how the AI got to that solution in the first place.
Yes. That's a really interesting point. We might even see a whole new area of expertise emerge, something like AI code comprehension.
Wow. That's fascinating. It's almost like we'll need to learn to think like the AI to really work effectively with it. But so if AI can handle all those routine coding tasks, does that mean that human creativity becomes even more important?
Definitely. That's where humans will really shine. Developers can focus on coming up with innovative ideas, pushing boundaries, designing truly unique software experiences, things AI can't quite grasp yet.
So it's not just about being a technical expert. It's about being adaptable, a good communicator, a creative thinker, all of those things.
Exactly. Those soft skills are going to be super valuable in this new world of software development. So we've talked about the potential benefits of AI-driven development, some of the limitations, how it might change the skills that developers need. I'm curious, what stood out to you the most from all of this? What's really got you thinking?
You know, for me, what really gets me excited is the speed and efficiency that this technology could bring. Like, imagine how much faster we could solve problems, build incredible things, tackle big challenges. It's pretty mind-blowing when you really think about it.
It is. It makes you wonder what the possibilities will be as this tech gets even more sophisticated. I mean, we might be at the very beginning of a whole new era of software development, one we can't even fully imagine yet.
It's both exciting and a little bit intimidating all at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Like, what will the software world even look like in 5 years, 10 years?
It's tough to predict the future, but I think one thing is for sure, AI is going to play a huge role in shaping it.
Definitely. And with that in mind, maybe it's time to start wrapping up this deep dive into AI-driven software development. We've covered so much ground, and I really hope everyone listening has come away with a better understanding of what this technology is, how it works, and the potential impact it could have on all of us.
It's been a great discussion.
It has. But before we go, I want to leave everyone with one final thought. We've talked a lot about the technical side of things, but at the end of the day, this is about humans. It's about how we choose to use these powerful tools and what kind of future we want to build with them.
That's a really great point to end on. Technology is ultimately a tool. It's up to us to use it wisely and responsibly.
So the next time you're using an app, a website, any piece of software, just take a moment to consider how AI might have played a role in its creation. And then ask yourself, what does that mean for the future of technology and for our future as humans?
That's definitely a question worth thinking about. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Until next time, keep exploring and keep asking those big questions. It's crazy to think we started this deep dive talking about AI building software as if it were some far-off possibility.
I know, right? But from what we've seen with DevOpsGPT, it seems like that future is already here.
Yeah, like it's happening now. And that brings up even bigger questions, right? How does this change the way we work, the skills we need to learn, even how we use technology every day?
It's definitely a whole new ballgame. We've got new opportunities, but also new things to figure out. But I think it's pretty clear there's a ton of potential here.
Right.
What if we could make software development easier for everyone, make it more efficient, and really make sure it delivers what people actually need?
That's a pretty amazing vision. We could solve problems faster, build things we haven't even imagined yet.
It's pretty inspiring, actually.
It is. But before we get too carried away, I think it's important to remember that even though we've talked a lot about the technical stuff today, at the end of the day, this is all about people.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's about how we choose to use these new AI tools and what kind of future we want to create with them.
Well said.
Technology is a tool. It's up to us to use it responsibly and make sure it benefits everyone.
Couldn't agree more.
So to everyone listening out there, as you see all this crazy new tech changing the world around you, remember to stay curious, keep asking questions, and don't be afraid to explore all the possibilities.
That's what it's all about.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into AI-driven software development. We'll see you next time.